Welcome to this episode of Coffee with Bible. So all these days and after so much thoughts, we finally decided to post this. This might cause ripples through some beliefs, but yet we decided to discuss this.
I've always wondered about the gift of speaking in tongues. What does the Bible say about speaking in tongues? I know some churches do teach that speaking in tongues is the only way to heaven. We are not saying that it is wrong, but does everybody get this gift?
Let's start with the first record of speaking in tongues. In Acts 2 verse 4, all of them were filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak in other tongues as the Spirit enabled them. But if you read further from verses 5 to 9, there were different tribes present there, such as Parthian, Medes, and Elamites. They all were amazed by hearing the Galileans speak in tongues of their own language. That is, the Galileans did not know the language of the Parthian, Medes, or Elamites. But when the Holy Spirit filled them, they spoke a language unknown to them, but known to the tribes hearing them.
Okay, yes, I've heard tongues can be interpreted.
If you read 1 Corinthians 14, Paul says that people speaking in tongues edifies themselves, but the one who prophesies edifies the church.
What? So speaking in tongues means we are boasting about ourselves?
No, what Paul actually means is when you see someone speaking in tongues, there is a chance that the true spirit is not with them, and they just want to show that they are on a higher spiritual level than the ones who do not speak in tongues.
Maybe there is a possibility.
If you read further, Paul also says in 1 Corinthians 14 verse 5 that I wish you all spoke in tongues, but I wish more that you all prophesied.
So, Paul says that the gift of prophecy is better than tongues?
What he meant was, if you see 1 Corinthians 12 verse 11, it is the one and only Spirit that distributes these gifts, and He alone decides which gift each person should have.
Oh, so the gift of tongues isn't for all?
There are different spiritual gifts of the Holy Spirit. In 1 Corinthians 12 verses 8 to 10, word of wisdom, faith, gifts of healing, miracles, prophecy, distinction between spirits, tongues, interpretation of tongues.
So, tongues isn't for all.
Yes, and it is He alone, that is, the Holy Spirit alone, who decides which gift each person should have. Nowadays, we want to show our spiritual level to others. If you see the different spiritual gifts, it is only the tongues that cannot be judged or questioned by others. The other gifts, such as prophecy and miracles, people can question you. But tongues and interpretation of tongues are something that not all can understand or interpret. So we choose the easy way over other spiritual gifts.
So, what is the conclusion?
Well, Paul's conclusion in 1 Corinthians 14 verse 15, you ask, what shall I do? Paul says, I will pray with my spirit, but I will also pray with my understanding. I will sing with my spirit, and I will also sing with my understanding. Don't be too focused on receiving just one spiritual gift. Like we say in the Lord's Prayer, your will be done. Let His will, His Spirit, choose the gifts for you. God knows what you need. It's not what you want.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of Coffee with Bible. For more Christian questions, comment on the below and subscribe to the Christian Couple for regular videos.